Hi guys, Dave here. I'm a big comic book fan, cartoons, anime, things like that. And this message is going out to my people, the people in the community that I see at conventions, that I see online. What I'm about to say, you're not going to like to hear. I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear, that you don't want to believe is true, that you just want to make comments on, verbally defecate all over me, dismiss it, and just walk away feeling better about yourself. But what I'm trying to do is tell you the truth. And now it's an ugly truth. And what you need to hear is this. Recently I came across a news story in my news feed, and it reminded me of something that I remember talking to someone about years ago. Now, I'm going to go into detail about all of these things, and below in the video description you can see the link to the story that prompted me to make this video. But basically, I'm concerned because a couple different things that are adding up may mean the death of the comic book or manga or anime conventions as we know them, unless something is done to stop it. Flashback to a few years ago. I was at MegaCon sitting in the food area, and I was talking to an artist that had been there before, and he was there previously around the time when, in Artist Alley, when Disney was in the process of finalizing things to have purchased Marvel. Well, he noticed someone going around the booths in Artist's Alley and taking notes about people that had various artwork that was put up. He did some checking, and it looked like every booth that was getting marked down by this guy in this suit had artwork of Disney characters in them. Now, after this was done, of course, Disney had purchased Marvel, and well, you also know, of course, they purchased Lucasfilm. He no longer did any work at Artist Alley because he saw the legal power that Disney had, and that they are legally within their rights to go after people that are violating their copyright. Basically, legally, they have the power. If someone is selling artwork of one of their characters, or even going around in costume as a character that they own, that they didn't buy but actually made the costume themselves, technically you are violating copyright, and you could be fined for it. So this is one thing that's detrimental to artists and detrimental to cosplayers. This was a couple years ago. Now, yeah, we haven't heard about this on the news, and it hasn't, as far as I know, it hasn't happened yet. But I also remember seeing a while back there was discrimination at one of the cons where people were trying to get some pictures outside an area for cosplay, and there were people that flat out told them no, for no reason. They were just not allowed and told to move along because they were essentially disturbing the peace. Now, this was prejudice against cosplayers. I keep an ear out for this kind of thing. Now, like I said, that was a couple years ago, and that was involving Disney, which also now involves Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars characters. Here's the story that I saw recently that made me want to do this video. Recently, something that was passed in Congress and is currently being disputed by several different people is something called the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP for short. There's a lot of stuff about it. There's a lot of things mixed up in it. Basically, it's a trade agreement for a lot of the major, economic people in the Pacific Rim area. The United States, of course, being one of them. Japan, a lot of people. Now, right now, it's currently being disputed in various legal systems and such like that. There's problems with it that people have pointed out, and there's a lot of legalese in there. But Recently, something released to WikiLeaks points out something very powerful that is in the language of TPP that involves international corporations. And this is what it is. Essentially, there's something in the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP, that effectively will make artists as well as manga and anime fans criminals just across the board. The way it says here, let's see, there's the intellectual property provisions, which is headed by the U.S., looks to lower what is considered criminal and to increase the penalties. Effectively, they're saying that under these new provisions that the TPP is trying to pass, any derivative work, like fan art, cosplay, or doujin manga, can fall under a criminal offensive even if the original rights owner doesn't file a complaint. Now, a big example is Japan's Comiket. This is a massive event that allows fans to get together and celebrate their favorite anime and manga. Fan-made contests take center stage and helps to promote the series. Well, technically it's illegal in Japan for such an event to be held since people are selling fan works for money. However, the owners of the original series know about a thing called free exposure. See, that's the best thing about cosplayers and artists like this. It's free publicity. And it makes a good relationship with the fans. Well, here's the problem, guys. Under the rights in TPP, if it gets passed, it doesn't matter if the original creators file a complaint or not. The fan works will automatically be considered illegal across the board. As for the punishment, in the text it says penalties that include sentences of imprisonment as well as monetary fines sufficiently high to provide a deterrent to future acts of infringement consistently with the level of penalties applied for crimes of a corresponding gravity. Guys, while we're all watching our favorite shows, while we're reading our favorite stories, very boring men that are part of very boring but very powerful corporations are making deals with politicians to put this thing through to take away your rights. I know it's not as exciting as alien conquerors come to either sell the world or blow it up, but while we're focusing on the worlds we love, these guys are using the power to essentially make corporations and copyright more important than human rights and freedom of expression. Something else that I had seen, there was an artist that recently posted a story earlier this year talking about how a lot of big names in the industry are actually talking about whether or not they should even start going to conventions anymore because, well, a lot of artists and creators are losing money. They pay big money to go to conventions to set up for tables, and a lot of people have not been making the money back. In fact, they've been getting further in the hole. They're not making money going to the conventions and seeing fans anymore. People aren't buying it. Unfortunately, his gripe was more about the cosplayers, that people were snapping pictures in front of his booth rather than buying the stuff he's doing. But guys, keep this in mind. Under the laws of the TPP, the fears that the guy had a few years ago at MegaCon could be coming true. Cosplayers, as well as artists who make a rendering that is not officially licensed by the company, could be under violation, could be breaking the law, and someone, not even the owners of the company's copyrights, could just make a complaint and say, no, this is illegal, it needs to be stopped, do your job, shut it down now. Anime and manga cosplayers could be heavily fined. Their work, instead of earning money for cosplay contests, they could be fined for what they're doing. Artists Alley could become bare because people aren't going to be able to make artist renderings of their favorite characters. That's anime and manga, but Disney has already also put down the grounds of this. That means that people that do artwork or cosplay things for Disney characters, Marvel superheroes, Star Wars characters, even the 501st Legion, The cosplayers that, although are not directly affiliated with Lucasfilm or Walt Disney World, they are considered the premier guys that Lucas likes to go to when it comes to, you know, representing things for cosplay. Even they're not going to be safe, guys. Cosplayers are effectively could become a thing of the past, and because of this, and with dwindling support for artists not being able to make art, or them not making money as it is right now, they're going to stop coming. And that means less revenue for the convention overall. And if cosplayers are going to start being disallowed, what happens if some companies go with the TPP and they're saying, yeah, we don't want this to happen, so you can't do it? What if Disney goes all on board with this and say, you're not allowed to do this unless you buy the costumes from us? But DC, you know, Warner Brothers Entertainment says, nah, we're okay with this, you guys can dress. So suddenly, people would find themselves in a weird situation of having to get legal permission from the corporations or studios or companies that people love to whether or not they can cosplay or not. Sure, you can buy this store-bought costume right here, but oh, that thing you made yourself? Take it off or you're getting fined. Guys, we are in a situation right now that if we are not careful, we could be looking at the death of comic book and anime conventions as we know it within a few years. Now, one thing I can ask you to do is, if you're of legal voting age, then I hate to tell you, but it's time to do something grown up. Contact your congressmen, your senators, your local representatives. Talk to them. Tell them you do not want the TPP to pass. Make your voices heard. If you're not of voting age, then talk to your parents or someone. Get them to get involved in here. We got to do something very grown up if we want to keep having fun, guys. It sucks. I know you're going to hate me for saying this, but it's the absolute truth. While we're having fun, while we're trying to enjoy this, artists are losing out. They're already losing money, and they're going to lose even more if this law goes into full pass. Then cosplayers are going to be targets. Guys, the comic book conventions we know it could become a thing of the past. It could become a heck of a lot more regulated. No costumes could be allowed unless you actually got the receipt or official label by the corporations going for it. I hate to say this, but this is the truth. It doesn't matter how good your homemade costumes are going to be anymore. This is about corporations and their copyrights and patents having more legal right than human expression. I don't like that. I don't want that to happen. I don't think you guys do either. So please, make your voices heard. Check out more about the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP. Contact your local congressman, representative, everyone. Tell them you do not want this to happen. Although it is passed, if you get enough voices to be heard and go to the right committees that are currently overlooking this whole thing and stopping it. See, there's a lot of people that are having a lot of problems with all the legalese and stuff in this. Contact them. Make your voices heard. Do not make Artists Alley become bare. Do not make cosplay become illegal. I'm asking you for just a sec. Do something grown up. Make your voices heard so we can keep on having fun together. Alright? Please like, comment, subscribe, and share down below. And let me know what you guys think. Oh, also, from the guy that's posing as the mother for the Facebook group Concerned Moms Against Anime, yeah, you've been calling for violence against cosplayers, although there's a one guy that actually owns the whole thing and is making it up, threatening to kill the mother that's involved in the thing, but he is the mother, so he's basically threatening to kill himself. Yeah, somebody please contact the local authorities or give this guy the number for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, because clearly he's disturbed and he's acting out something, and I think he deserves help. So please do that for me. Alright guys, take care. Peace. Yum yum.